All right, good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if everybody can hear my mic check. We will begin with some short remarks from Joe and Chris, and then I'll open it up to questions for everyone. Just please raise your hand, and I'll call on you for the question. To begin, Avalanche President of Hockey Operations, Joe Sakic.
Thanks, Brendan. Yeah, it was a huge day for our organization. I'm really happy for Chris here. This has been in the works for a couple of years. Josh and I have been talking about this when we thought the opportunity for Chris to move up to general manager, and we felt that this was the right time. Over the last couple of years, I know Chris has had the opportunity to interview with some other teams for possible general manager role, and so, like I said, Josh and I have been talking about it, and then this year, and I was talking about it with my wife as well when that opportunity for me to move up would be a possibility, and we felt with all the openings for general manager roles this year and requests for Chris to interview and speaking with Josh, we just thought, and I spoke to Chris about the possibility if he wanted to be a general manager here at the end of the year, and he had interest, and we kind of left it at that, and he's just decided that at the end of the year would work on this promotion for him, and he's well deserved. He's a tremendous person, tremendous worker. It's meant so much to the franchise and myself, and we've gone through a lot in the last 5-6 years and have a championship together, and we just wanted to keep this thing rolling. So with that, I just want to welcome Chris MacFarland as our new general manager.
Well, it's been a whirlwind, so I just want to thank everybody for coming down today. I have to thank a few people, so bear with me here. You know, when this journey started for me and my family, 23, 24 years ago, the Columbus Blue Jackets gave me an opportunity. So I need to thank that organization, the McConnell family, Mike Priest, Doug McLean, Jim Clark, Scott Housen, Jarmo Kekalainen, and JD for giving somebody an opportunity to work in the National Hockey League, and I had 16 wonderful years there, and it meant it's a special place for me and my family, and I owe them a debt of gratitude. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of the scouts that I worked with there that kind of took me under my wing when I first started, people like Bob Strum, Paul Castron, and my good friend Don Boyd, who's getting a medical procedure done tomorrow, so I want to wish him the best of luck to Boydie. They welcomed me with open arms and were so good to me and made me feel part of the team right from day one, and that was massive for me. And that continued on here when 7 years ago when we made the decision to come to Colorado and be a part of this wonderful organization. And I got a new family right away. Craig Billington, Charlotte Graham, Jean Martineau, Brendan McNicholas, Aaron DeGraff, and all of our administrative people and support staff and our scouts made me feel a part of the family right from day one. And that cannot be underestimated how important that is. And you get a new family right away, and I'm very thankful for that and how they welcome me in with open arms. To the Avalanche players and our coaches, Jared, Nolan, Ray Bennett, UC, Sean, Brett, and the players for the last number of years that I've had the privilege and honor to work with Joe and watch them play and watch them do what they did. It's not lost on me or my family that the success they've had on the ice has been so important for us as an organization and been massive, for me to get opportunities to get my name in the hat and to, for Joe and I appreciated them. It's an honor to get to watch them do what they do and how hard they work on a daily basis, and we're so proud of what they accomplish. So thank you to all of them. To Stan and Josh Kroenke and the KSC executive team, thank you. It's a dream come true. It's an honor to work in this organization for the Avalanche logo. It's very humbling. It's I'm so proud to be a part of this organization. And, you know, Joe has always said, and he lived it in the locker room, it starts at the top. It may sound cliche, but they've been there for us from day one. If we asked for something or needed their support, it was always, yes, what can we do? How can we help? And that goes so far, and that's on and off the ice. So I'm very humbled for them and their support, and they stuck by us, you know, 4 or 5 years ago when we had that tough year, and believed in us. And that's never been lost on me, Joe, I know, and our families, and so proud to continue to stay on here. So thank you to the Cronkies and the KSC executive team. Whew. To my family, Jake, Kara, Gavin, and Sawyer have been there supporting me, unwavering support. They become the biggest Blue Jacket fans. We were there, and the second we decided to come to Colorado, it became the biggest Avalanche fans. Our players, our team, they live and die with us, you know, as Joe's family does, and Billers and our coaches. They become the biggest fans in the world at both, you know, they want to see us do well, but the team as well, and that means so much. To my wife, Chan, this is not possible without her. I can't even look at her right now, but she's been the GM, the AGM, the nutritionist, the strength coach, the head of team services for our family for 23 years, allowing me to do what I love to do. And I love you. I feel like Bedsy. And last but certainly not least, well, actually 2 more. This gentleman here, he doesn't need any introduction. Hockey royalty. The Avs logo is Joe Sakic. His on-ice accomplishments don't, everyone knows. 3-time Stanley Cup champion, Conn Smythe winner, deadly wrist shot, as he's been known to say once in a while to the staff. But just a world-class human being and a truly terrific leader, somebody to work for, and an incredible friend. And, you know, the thing about Joe is, you know, we went through that tough year 5 years ago, and then we slowly started to chip away at it. And the way he led and continues to lead, it doesn't change. He's so consistent, and you wouldn't know if you walked into our offices 5 years ago after a tough loss and a tough season to when we're in the Stanley Cup Finals. He's the same person with the same demeanor, and that cannot be underestimated. So it's truly an honor to step into the GM chair and continue to work with Joe and remain a part of this organization with him. That was really a crucial part for me. And to Deb, Joe's wife, and the Sakic family, they've welcomed us and been there for us from day one too. Whatever, you know, we needed and the support we needed, and that is really crucial. I know my wife and family appreciate that. And to the Avs fans, you guys were incredible for us. Such a huge part of our success. We love playing at home, and it was an incredible ride, and hopefully there's a lot more fun in store in the near future. So again, I'm very humbled, very thankful, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Chris. With that, we'll open for questions. Start, Peter.
Yeah, well, congrats to both of you, I guess, to start. I guess, how much do you anticipate the day-to-day operations changing with this elevation in title? I know you were obviously really involved already. Do you anticipate much of a change in how things operate?
Do you want to start?
Well, first of all, yeah, I mean, Chris is the general manager. He'll be doing the day-to-day general manager duties and working on, you know, building this roster with the staff. Outside of that, I don't know if it's going to change that much for me, other than I won't be doing the day-to-day GM duties and calling other general managers, but we talk every day. We've talked every day for 5-6 years about hockey and going over things, and we've always done stuff together and with our staff, and so that's still going to continue.
Yeah, just to add on, Joe's being nice. I think we talk every day. I text him all the time. He texts me sometimes late at night. I don't know if Deb was too happy about that, but we talk hockey. That's what we do, along with a friendship. But he's there. He's got great ideas too, and we bounce everything off each other. So it's incredible to have continue to work together, and we'll the decisions will bounce things off each other as we normally do.
Chris, what did you maybe learn from Joe these last few years that make you feel like you're ready for this position? And Joe, when did you feel like Chris was somebody that could be a GM? I know you said that you guys have been talking about this for a while, but when did you know this guy could replace himself?
Well, Joe, I mean, listen, Joe's, like I said, he's one of the best to ever do it. So he knows the game inside out from multiple, lenses that I wasn't a professional player. He was one of the best, so you'd be foolish not to tap into those things, whether it's his thoughts on when those tough years when things were, when we had to rebuild and do it and methodically and tap into that. But again, for me, the way he leads, sometimes they might say he's a quiet leader. I don't think he's a quiet leader. I think he's true to what he is, and his demeanor and the way he empowers his staff to do their jobs is incredible. And he's obviously informed, but his temperament is one of his biggest strengths, along with his hockey acumen.
And Chris has been ready for quite a while now, in my opinion, and around the league. He's very well respected around the league. There's been a lot of requests to interview Chris, and I know they've gone well all the way back to when we're in the bubble in Edmonton. I think he interviewed with a couple teams there, and so just the reports back and just every day working with Chris and seeing the respect he gets from the coaching staff and the players and around the league. He's ready for this. He's been ready for this for a number of years, and he deserves this opportunity. And I think from my end, it was an easy decision. Why have someone that you trust so much and someone who works so hard and is dedicated and help create this thing? Well, why let there be an opportunity for him to go somewhere else, and then now you're looking for a replacement when we had the perfect candidate right here all along? And so I'm really happy for Chris, because he's deserved this. He's worked for this for a long time, and our organization is in a great place.
Here.
Over the last 5 or 6 years, there's been, maybe it's a coincidence, but there's been a connection with the Columbus Blue Jackets, obviously hiring Jared Bednar a year after you got here, and then signing UFAs like Calvert, even Jack Johnson and Murray this year. Just going back to that well, how crucial has that been for you, and how beneficial, and I guess for Joe, how beneficial is it to have someone that you can rely on to ask about these kind of candidates?
Well, I'll start by saying that I knew those guys, but they got contracts because of their play. We have a pro scouting staff that's one of their primary duties. So it wasn't just let's bring in Columbus players. That was never part of it. Obviously, I knew them and their character and could talk to Joe about that, and Joe knew them as players as well. So, and Jared was a name that when we had to look at coaches, was certainly a name that was on my radar and Joe's radar too. He had success at every level that he coached at, but ultimately he had to interview with Joe and form a connection with Joe as well. So Bedsy earned that through his interview process and connection with Joe, and obviously I'm very happy for him, because I had a feeling that he would be successful at the next level when he got that chance. So I think the Columbus thing is no different than Anaheim or Winnipeg or any other team for that matter in the NHL. We're watching all those teams, and if a player we feel is a fit and it makes sense, then we'll make a hockey decision.
Pat?
First of all, congratulations. One for each of you. For Chris, how do you stay on top? How do you stay
Well, obviously it's difficult. Everybody's dream is to win the Stanley Cup, and now we're the Stanley Cup champions. So we're going to get everybody's best game. Kind of felt over the last couple of years we had been getting everybody's best game, so we were ready for this opportunity. Obviously we're in a salary cap world, and teams throughout the history going after if you have a bunch of free agents. Teams like going after winners, and they have that pedigree, and so we've got those guys. So it's going to be tough. We're in a salary cap world. There's a lot of parity out there. That's what I think made Tampa's run so impressive. 2 straight championships and another trip to the finals. So it's hard to do now. We expect it to be hard, and we're up for the challenge. We're working at trying to build this team back up so we can try and repeat this.
Yeah, I think Joe summed it up really well, and obviously, he's been part of multiple Stanley Cup championship teams and as a player, and we've been building towards this for a while. To echo what Joe said, it's obviously a challenge in a cap world and a flat cap world, and we're going to have to make tough decisions as an organization to try and find the right pieces that fit into the right holes that give us a chance to be one of the teams that has an opportunity for the next X number of years. So that remains the goal.
Wow. Chris, you're heading into your first free agency period as the GM. You touched on it a bit there, but what can you tell people about just your strategy and maybe just your development as someone who's learned to evaluate players over your career? What have you learned maybe from helping teams out in that process?
Well, I don't think anything's changed. I think Joe and our staff have been hard at work. It's something we do all year long. We know who the free agents are going to be, and we run it through multiple lenses and how we can try and make the pieces fit. And I think it's something that Joe has talked about over the years that we embrace as an organizational philosophy with our scouts. We're going to leave no stones unturned and to try and make the team better. And sometimes it's a move that makes you a little bit better, and then sometimes it's a more of a dramatic shift. But we're going to leave no stone unturned to try and improve our hockey team. That's our primary job. And in terms of the day-to-day stuff, for free agency, we've been preparing about it, talking about it all year with our pro staff. So we're ready to roll, and Joe is obviously a huge part of that as well.
You guys just won the Cup. We won it together. That's an amazing accomplishment. And as you just talked about, now you have buku UFAs. So Joe, did you decide this was the best time to go fishing?
I don't know if I'm going fishing, maybe golfing. But no, we discussed this. I mean, this was we've been talking about this for a couple of years. I've been talking about it with Josh for a couple of years, maybe not so much with Chris, but earlier this year is when I started talking to Chris about it, just to get his feel, if just knowing that there's going to be other opportunities at some point. About him, I asked Chris if he'd like to do it here when I'm ready to kind of move up, I guess you say. And so it's not because we won this year that I'm doing this. It's something that we've been discussing for a while, and we decided that earlier this year that this was where this was heading. And like I said, I'm extremely happy for Chris. He's deserved this opportunity, and I'm still part of it. I'm not going anywhere.
More seriously for Chris, the challenge of
Yeah, it is
you do have buku.
it is a challenge. But it's a challenge a lot of years, right? Where you have to make these tough decisions on term, on AAV, to make the puzzle pieces fit to get incrementally better. Whether the last few years we've been trying to get better and get into that, to build a winner and a team that can stay a consistent winner. That's been what Joe and I talk about daily, and how that works. So we try to run every decision through multiple lenses that are ultimately going to be in the best interest of the Colorado Avalanche. And sometimes you're gonna lose players that maybe you don't want to lose. That's just part of it. But I think that's part of it for just about every team in the league at some point in time. So Yeah.
Peter?
I wanted to just ask about a couple of the guys who are going to be free agent. Heading into Wednesday, I guess, what's your confidence level that you'll be able to get something done with Val by then?
Well, Joe and I have had good discussions with Mark and with Val. We believe the player wants to be a Colorado Avalanche, so hopefully we'll have some news on that sooner rather than later.
And then Kadri, is it safe to say he might go to market, and that looks like the most likely scenario?
Joe?
Met with Darren Ferris, his agent, so free agency starts. I met with him in Montreal. Free agency starts Wednesday, so we'll see where it goes.
Eric?
Joe, I guess question for you. You guys made the trade for Alexander Georgiev just a few days ago in a very aggressive and high demand goalie market. How much of that move was, you learning from maybe a season ago where Grubauer walked at the last minute and you had to shift to perhaps one of the last remaining goalies on the market?
Yeah, we had the shift last year for sure, and we're happy we did. Won a Stanley Cup with Darcy Kemper, but I think this year, we wanted to. I had meetings with Ben Hankinson, Darcy's agent, just to kind of get a feel of where the numbers were going to go. We knew there was a goalie, and we had talked to New York about Georgiev a number of times earlier in other years. So we just kind of came to the decision that cap-wise that in that position we wanted to save a little money on cap, and we like what Alex can bring to the team. We like his age. We think we are a great fit. With the D and the forwards we have, we're a great fit. He's an athletic goalie. He can make those big saves, and just we feel he's like that next Grubauer for us, where we trade for him, sign him for the money we signed him for, but we think he's going to be a big piece for us here for the next 3 years, and he's a young guy.
To kind of follow up on that real quickly, how strange does it feel 21 years later to be calling Chris Georgiev every trade?
Yeah, that's true. What a great player, great competitor. Really happy for him. We celebrated championship together, and now he's the runner, the GM, president of the New York Rangers. So really happy for him. But yeah, it was. We've always gotten along, so I guess that was an easy phone call to make.
MacFarland?
Across KSE organizations, we've seen similar structure to the one that you guys are going to take place with, a GM stepping up to the president, and this last few years, the Rapids kind of a similar situation. Do you guys feel like the roles, the adjustment of the roles is going to work out well? We talked about that with ownership and how that's worked across other organizations in KSE.
Yeah, from my perspective, I think this is the trend and where it's kind of going now, and a number of teams in the National Hockey League have done that, and I think it's happening because ownership and teams, they don't want to lose good people. So when people work really hard and they're great people and everybody's building something, you find a way to try and keep them together, and that was one of the reasons we wanted to do this, is to make sure Chris remained an Avalanche.
Time for a couple more, Kyle and Peter.
Just looking at the big picture here in the future of the franchise, does the Avalanche need a new practice facility? Or are there conversations among the front office about those sort of structural changes that could continue to help sustain the success you guys have had?
Well, those are the things that we are working on with ownership, and I know they do want to get to building a practice facility for us and the Nuggets, and so down the line that will have happen, and our dressing room, we're going to have a brand new dressing room next year, so it's going to be totally different. It's going to be amazing. The players are going to be something that the players and everybody's going to be really proud of.
Finish for Peter.
This might be a bit of a silly question, Joe, but how would you define the role of a president of hockey operations?
Really, I don't know, other than the fact that I'm not doing the day-to-day general manager jobs, I don't anticipate, it changing that much. From that, Chris is going to be doing the everyday duties, and I'm going to be there to help out whatever he needs, and Josh is still going to be my boss.
So fewer meetings?
Uh,
Maybe.
No.
I won't be going to the general manager meetings. I'll miss those. I'll miss those 3 days in Florida. That's, but I might already be there. Setting up the tea times.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.